This is as much a work of art as it is a tool for capturing moments in time. An all-brass body housing a CCD sensor developed by Eastman Kodak, the same company that has produced Portra, Ektar, Vision, and many other still and motion picture films, which are the look of countless iconic photos and movies. It's a camera that demands your attention and requires more input than simply pressing the shutter. With a sensor that can be treated like slide film without the need for developing. There are cameras that make images, and there are cameras that inspire them. But beyond the allure of the red dot and its legacy of preserving important moments of human history, the question still stands. Did Leica get it right with its first digital rangefinder? Alright guys, I want to first start by saying I'll have a montage of all of the unedited images at the end of this video if you want to check those out. Also, my daughter put a kitty sticker on my shirt, so you're welcome. Let's get into it. This, my friends, is what I consider a photographer's camera. You have to have some level of experience and appreciation for what the Leica M8 is to get the most out of it. When I go out with this, I am treating it like I just loaded slide film into a rangefinder. The limited dynamic range means that you've got to nail your exposure. The 10 megapixels means you've got to nail your framing. And you've got to treat it with some level of care because repairs are expensive or parts are just no longer available. There's also a few quirks with this camera. There's no infrared or anti-aliasing filter in front of the sensor. So if you don't have an infrared filter on your lens, you're gonna get some like purplish brown tones on the black parts of your image. But the plus side of not having that extra filtration is that you're going to get a lot of detail in your images for the resolution that this sensor puts out. If you're willing to accept what might be seen as shortcomings, then yeah, you're going to be rewarded. This camera was produced during a time where camera manufacturers were trying to get photographers to transition from film to digital. And while I don't think Leica engineers were necessarily trying to achieve the film look with this camera, this without a doubt had an influence on the design of cameras and sensors from this era. I grew up during this time where analog things were transitioning to digital, and I really miss shooting film regularly. But the cost to shoot as much as I do now with film are just way too high. And at this stage in my life, I don't have the time to develop every roll myself. So of course I'm gonna try to find the next best thing. Let's talk about the images in color. When you're shooting raw and using the right profile, you have the ability to interpret that raw information into just about any look that you want. I've touched on this in my last video, but the limitations are going to be just as much about Lightroom's built-in tools as it is about the raw image itself. Let's take a look at an example using Adobe Color, which is what most people are comparing online because that's the default starting point. I think this is a very solid look. If you're just going for nice clean color, then I don't think you'll have to do much editing. The colors lean slightly pastel, which I'm a huge fan of, and there's good skin tone. I would not, however, recommend shooting JPEG with this camera or using the camera matching profile, which is made to match the JPEG output. I'm not sure what Leica was going for here, but I don't think it's very usable, to be honest. I prefer to use my own profiles with this camera. The lower resolution and organic nature of this sensor play really well with going for a more gritty filmic look. You can of course get the film look on just about any camera that shoots RAW. The M8 just makes capturing those images like what I'm used to, with no live view and no EVF. While nothing will ever truly replace film, and I hope that every person that pursues photography has the opportunity to experience it, that doesn't mean that some of us aren't completely in love with it and can't chase that feeling without the extra expense or time it takes to get there. After doing a lot of research, I had a pretty good feeling I was gonna like this camera, and I waited patiently for the right one. I got this off of eBay from Japan, and I'm sure it has something to do with the culture there, but I've always had great luck buying cameras from Japan. This one came like new, super low shutter count with the box and the grip. And the only downside to that is that I hurt a little bit inside every time I get a scratch or something on this camera. But I also like the idea of the brass body wearing over time and showing signs that somebody used it as intended. I also know that I will value the images taken with this way more than whatever dollar amount this is worth in the future. So what is it about this camera? Is it the nostalgia of learning to shoot film and the similar shooting experience? Is it the red dot and the amazing build quality and all of the engineering that went into making this? Or is it just the realization that early digital cameras will always be relevant and they'll always have a place in my collection? Whatever it is, in terms of digital cameras, this to me is the Grail.